So the beauty of this, it's for anybody. So we just launched registration on Monday, and so for this first week, we only sent it out to youth leadership past participants and gavel clubs to give them an opportunity to register. I expect for this to fill up pretty quickly. The first youth leadership program that we did at the Frisco Library filled up in less than a minute. So far, we've like a quarter full already, and it's just been the 2 days.
Wow.
So I expect for it to fill up pretty quickly. So we wanted to give all of these participants a chance, but on Friday we will open it up to the public so everybody can attend.
Welcome to D50 After Dark. I'm your host, Mickey Bennett, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking to the youth leadership team again, and today we're going to be talking about the Youth Leadership Summit. What is that? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to D50 After Dark, and welcome back to the show, Jen and Nikki.
Thank you.
Now, again, Hitesh is not here with us in the studio today, but I did ask him about the Youth Leadership Summit. So, Hitesh, tell us, what is this Youth Leadership Summit?
I like to think of Youth Leadership Summit as a celebration of successes. Throughout the year, the students learns giving speeches, participating in contests, and the Youth Leadership Summit is the place where everyone gathers together, competes in the speech contests, and at the same time, we invite the industry leaders, experienced leaders to come and train the youth. We have several experienced leaders coming into this Youth Leadership Summit, and there are amazing sessions. Please do not miss it. Definitely check out the agenda for all the amazing sessions that are going to get conducted in the Youth Leadership Summit. This summit happens every year. Over the last few years, we have had multiple Youth Leadership Summit in District 50, and we want to continue this journey and try to do at least one Youth Leadership Summit every year. And this year, looking forward to an amazing summit. And I want to thank all the volunteers who are putting in so much time, energy, and effort into organizing this summit. I just can't wait to see how amazingly successful this summit will be.
Sounds very cool. Now, Nikki, you are the primary person who is organizing the summit?
Yes, I am the program coordinator for this year's summit.
Very cool. Now, from what Hitesh describes, it sounds kind of like a spring conference for the Gavel Club and Leadership Program students.
It's exactly what it is. And so I'm excited about this year. This will be my first summit, Youth Leadership Summit. So I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. But it is going to be a day of workshops, basically. I just kind of listened to what the kids, just taking my experience from the youth leadership programs, tried to make it a fun day. So there'll be several educational workshops. So there'll be something like public speaking for social media, like how to engage a digital audience. So when the kids have to do Zoom presentations, we'll have that. And we're so lucky to have Sherry Sutton, who has a podcast called Heart of the Hustle. She's a marketing mentor and business coach who's going to come and teach that class. There's a session called Hook, Line, and Sinker, how to grasp your audience attention. So there'll be lots of sessions like that, including sessions for parents because they're encouraged to stay. So they'll do impromptu speaking and do table topics, and they'll learn about Toastmasters and gavel clubs. So it should be a fun day.
Very cool. So there's educational sessions to learn about a variety of things related to Toastmasters and communication. And you said there's a speech contest?
Absolutely. We are having the inspirational speech contest. So when the kids register for the summit, they can choose whether or not they want to participate in the contest. And if they do, they need to come prepared with a 3 to 5 minute speech on any topic that they would like. And so then in the afternoon, the second day of the summit, they will present their speech to 3 judges and parents and other participants, and we'll have prizes for the top 3 in the categories.
How cool. Like a mini contest season all right there in that weekend.
Absolutely.
Right. So there's no pre-qualifying for the contest. You register and you bring your idea for your speech, and then you work on it on the first day, and deliver it the second day. Is that what I understood properly?
So the summit is just one day. It's
Okay.
just going to be April the 26th. However, if they decide they want to participate, we do have time set aside so that they can work with the mentor to refine their speech before they give it.
Okay.
So-
In like that morning of the summit?
It'll be in the afternoon,
afternoon.
just before. Yeah.
Okay, so I keep getting confused on the times. So let me, what date is the summit?
So this
Here.
is going to be Saturday, April the 26th. Registration starts at 9 a.m., so from 9 to 9:30. And then at 9:30 a.m., we'll kick off the summit. And we're fortunate enough to have Denise Castille as our keynote speaker. If you guys ever seen Denise speak. I have to tell you, when I first met her in person, I totally fangirled because I think she's such a dynamic speaker. She's
She is,
amazing.
she
She's
is.
absolutely amazing. So I was very thankful that she agreed to be the keynote speaker. And so that's definitely going to set the tone for the entire day. And so then from there, we'll break out into separate sessions. So we'll have some kids going to, we'll have two sessions going, like kind of group A and group B, and then parents will have their own session. And they're 50-minute sessions. And then after 50 minutes, they'll go to the next session. And then we'll break for lunch, which we'll have pizza and water provided for everybody. And during lunch, we have Olivia, I'm going to butcher her name, Isabin, who runs a program called WOW. She's a wellness coach and she does Zumba classes. So the kids will have an opportunity during lunchtime to go out and burn off some energy before the second half of the summit.
Smart.
Very cool, very cool. Now, is this only for students who've already participated in a youth leadership program or a gavel club, or can anybody come?
So the beauty of this, it's for anybody. So we just launched registration on Monday. And so for this first week, we only sent it out to youth leadership past participants and gavel clubs to give them an opportunity to register. I expect for this to fill up pretty quickly. The first youth leadership program that we did at the Frisco Library filled up in less than a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we've like a quarter full already, and it's just been the 2 days.
Wow.
So I expect for it to fill up pretty quickly. So we wanted to give all of these participants a chance, but on Friday we will open it up to the public so everybody can attend.
And by Friday, you mean Friday, March 21st.
21st, yes.
Okay, which will be in the past by the time this episode airs.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay, so when does registration close?
Registration is going to close on April the 18th. So it'll be the week before the summit.
Or possibly sooner if you fill up.
If we fill up, exactly. So I encourage everybody to register as soon as possible because it is going to take off. And it is a wonderful opportunity. It's $20 and that includes all of the supplies plus lunch and access to all of these wonderful mentors. And there's a session for the older kids that's about interviewing skills. So these kids that are doing college interviews or applying for jobs, we have some HR managers that are coming. There's Marissa Perez, Tanika Draper, Nikki Jones. These are all HR managers for various companies that have agreed to come and work with these kids on this. There's so many sessions and so much, recommend everybody to do it.
Yeah, so what is it that the HR managers are doing with the kids?
So there's one of the educational sessions is called Mastering the Interview, Resume and Interview Skills.
Yeah.
So they're going to work with the kids on building a resume, like what to include in the resume. And then on the second half of that, they'll do mock interviews. So in public speaking is just as important when they're doing these interviews and doing college interviews or applying for a job. So their public speaking skills will be put to the test in these mock interviews.
That is so cool.
It's great.
Very cool. Now this will be your first Youth Leadership Summit.
Yes.
Jen, you've been around the block.
I've been to a few.
You've
yes.
been to a few.
Right.
So tell us, what are these summits like?
Oh, they are amazing. I love watching all the students and their parents come and just have contact with each other. They don't believe how many there are, how many kids and parents are involved in youth leadership, either the program or a gavel club. And one thing that I hear from the students when they come back is that they've learned something new, they've met a new friend, they love the speech contest competitions because they're all very competitive. They loved getting a medallion or a trophy or recognition as being one of the better or best speakers for the contest. I think they get energized, just like we do when we go to a Toastmaster conference. You just hear new ideas, see new people, and have a day of being around people who love to do the same thing you like to do, which is to do public speaking and leadership.
And I think that's important about them being energized. So we want the summit to be fun because, a lot of kids are scared of public speaking. And so we want them to be able to come and meet their friends and just pull them out of their comfort zone.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And kids do like competition.
Oh, they love it.
And they like the recognition.
Right.
When I was a kid, I went to a Nintendo World Championship. And I was a semifinalist,
Wow.
and they gave me a baseball cap that said Nintendo World Championship semifinalist, and I thought that was
It's
the
the best.
coolest. I wore that everywhere. I'm a world champion semifinalist.
What a nice nugget of information to have about you, Mickey. That's cool.
So I can imagine like how excited the kids will be to once they get into it and start working on their speech, how excited they'll be to compete.
Absolutely.
And I have to interject this. They are in the room when their competitors are speaking.
Mhm.
So they have an opportunity to watch other people do speeches,
Mhm.
deliver the speech, use the gestures, walk the stage. And those kids are like sponges, and they will pick up things that they like and will take them back and incorporate them in their next speech. Learn by doing, and learn by observing, and learn by watching and analyzing other people, how they do their speech. And
Now, you said you don't have to have already done one of the programs we've been talking about, but there's an age window, right?
There is. So it is the same for the summit. It is the same as the youth leadership program, which is ages 10 to 18.
10 to 18.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And anybody who can make it, do they have to live in the Metroplex, or can they be from Louisiana?
Anybody that wants to come is welcome.
Awesome.
it's
You're
in
welcome,
person.
everyone.
In person, so they would have to travel.
Yeah,
It's not hybrid.
it's not hybrid. So yeah, they'd have to come here.
Right.
In person,
Yeah.
right.
So it's going to be at the Scottish Rite in Frisco on Saturday, April the 26th.
Okay. In Frisco, so not far from where we are today.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Very close.
All right. Well, we're going to end off with a call to action, and I think it's pretty obvious what the call to action is going to be. Nikki, what's our call to action for our listeners today?
So the call to action today is to register for the summit. I think everyone should attend, and there will be huge benefits for all of the kids ages 10 to 18 and for the parents as well. So I encourage everyone to join the summit, and not just that, but find a youth leadership program. I was just talking to Jen today that we're having one scheduled for June that's going to be in Prosper. So join the youth leadership program and definitely register for the summit.
And where do you register for the summit?
So it'll be on the D50 website.
D50tm.org, and you go there and explore the menus and find where you can find the Youth Leadership Summit.
Exactly. There'll be an Eventzilla registration form there.
Perfect. And it's only $20.
Only $20, and you get a full day of fun and access to tons of experienced speakers.
And for an event, I'm sure, like I remember my Nintendo World Championship, these kids will remember this youth summit for the rest of their life.
Yes,
think
it
so.
is going to be pretty dynamic.
Okay, awesome. I'm so excited. I might even show up.
You should do it.
Well, thank you very much for telling us today about the Youth Leadership Summit. Very exciting. And for our listeners, we have more episodes coming up in the near future with Jen and Nikki and even Hitesh. We're going to talk more about gavel clubs and the experiences that these programs provide for our young people. Stay tuned, and thank you for joining us.